The undeniable brilliance of Half-Life 2, the greatest FPS game of all time. Half-Life 2 is widely considered to be one of the greatest first-person shooter games of all time. Developed by Valve Corporation and released in 2004, Half-Life 2 has stood the test of time and remains one of the most beloved games in the FPS genre. It is a sci-fi shooter set in the dystopian world of City 17 and follows the adventures of protagonist Gordon Freeman. In this video, we'll look at why Half-Life 2 remains an incredible gaming experience even after a decade and why it's such an important title in the FPS genre. Introduction to Half-Life 2, a brief summary. Half-Life 2 is the sequel to the 1998 classic Half-Life and was released in 2004. It is a first-person shooter set in the dystopian world of City 17, where the human race is oppressed by an alien race known as the Combine. Players take on the role of Gordon Freeman, a scientist who is tasked with saving the human race from the Combine. As the story progresses, Gordon discovers the Combine's sinister plans and must fight to save humanity. The game was praised for its innovative gameplay and immersive storytelling. It continues to be popular with fans even after a decade. It won numerous awards, including the Game of the Year in 2004. It was also the first video game to be used in a university course and has been hailed as one of the greatest games of all time. What makes Half-Life 2 so special? Half-Life 2 is a groundbreaking game that pushed the boundaries of what was possible in FPS games. It featured innovative gameplay and a captivating storyline that kept players engaged from start to finish. The game was praised for its innovative gameplay, immersive storytelling, and well-crafted characters. It was also praised for its unique art style and visuals, which helped bring the game's world to life. The game also featured an open-ended sandbox world, which allowed players to explore the game's world and tackle its puzzles in their own way. It was also praised for its physics engine, which allowed players to interact with the environment in creative ways. The game also featured a wide variety of weapons and tools, which allowed players to tackle its challenges in different ways. The game also featured a robust multiplayer mode, which allowed players to compete against each other in various game modes. This added to the game's replay value and kept players engaged for longer. Meet Gordon Freeman. One of the things that makes Half-Life 2 so special is its characters. The protagonist of the game is Gordon Freeman, a scientist who is tasked with saving humanity from the Combine. He is a likable and relatable character who players can easily empathize with. The game also features a wide variety of supporting characters who help to drive the story forward. These characters include Alex Vance, a tech-savvy rebel who helps Gordon in his journey, Dr. Breen, the Combine's leader, and the Vortigaunts, a race of aliens who are sympathetic to Gordon's plight. The characters are well-written and three-dimensional and help to make Half-Life 2 an immersive experience. Innovative gameplay and mechanics. The game featured a wide variety of weapons, tools, and vehicles, which allowed players to tackle the game's challenges in different ways. Half-Life 2's cinematic and immersive storytelling. The game also featured an intuitive dialogue system, which allowed players to interact with NPCs and get more information about the world. The game also featured a variety of cutscenes, which added to the game's cinematic feel and kept players engaged. The game also featured a variety of puzzles, which allowed players to explore the game's world and tackle its challenges in their own way. This added to the game's replay value and kept players engaged for longer. Still popular after a decade, Half-Life 2 was released in 2004 and was met with universal acclaim upon its release. The game continues to be popular with fans even after a decade. It has been re-released on various platforms, including Steam, Xbox 360, and PlayStation 3. It has also been modded extensively, allowing fans to create their own custom levels and storylines. The legacy of Half-Life 2. Half-Life 2 is one of the most influential games in the FPS genre. It has also inspired numerous sequels, including Half-Life 2, Episode 1, Half-Life 2, Episode 2, and Half-Life: Alyx. Final thoughts. Is Half-Life 2 the greatest FPS game of all time? Half-Life 2 is widely considered to be one of the greatest FPS games of all time. It features innovative gameplay, immersive storytelling, and well-crafted characters. It has been praised by fans and critics alike and continues to be popular with players even after a decade. It is a groundbreaking game that pushed the boundaries of what was possible in FPS games. Its influence can be seen in other games in the FPS genre. It is an undeniable classic and will continue to be an important part of the FPS genre for years to come. Conclusion. Half-Life 2 is an undeniable classic and one of the greatest FPS games of all time. It features innovative gameplay, immersive storytelling, and well-crafted characters. It has been praised by fans and critics alike and continues to be popular with players even after a decade. It is a groundbreaking game that pushed the boundaries of what was possible in FPS games, and its legacy continues to live on. If you haven't played it yet, it's certainly worth checking out. Have a wonderful rest of the day, gamers, and I will see you again in the next video.